It's a beautiful Friday. It's foggy out, and there's some football games this weekend. Ooh, welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Shane Diefenbach, joined in person by the one and only Johnny Venerable. How you doing?
I came in today, and it was like a light hit me as I'm walking into the facility. David Blau is going to start for the Arizona Cardinals. The tank is on. Check PHNX Cardinals for more. How does that affect the line? The Cardinals have not won in Atlanta in over 30 years. It was -3 before that announcement. -10, anybody?
Oh, let's see if it's moved. I was looking at that line. It's 4 now.
The Falcons are 4.5. The Falcons have not played good football lately. I couldn't tell you the last game they won. It felt like they got a lot of their wins early in the season. Mariota quit on the team, and somehow Desmond Ridder is going to light up the Cardinals this weekend because the Cardinals it feels like they're purposely tanking. I don't want to say that because they announced Colt McCoy as a starter earlier in the week, and now he's gone. So we'll dive into that later on PHNX Cardinals, but I'm fascinated to see how this line moves. If you can get it right now at -4.5, I would recommend that you do.
Yeah. I want to start off the show with a little New Year's resolution segment. In terms of sports betting.
Okay.
I have mine. You can think of yours.
Yeah.
My New Year's resolution when it comes to betting on sports is to stop listening to people. Everybody wants to be the guy that's like, I'm the best. I'm the be all say all. There's cappers everywhere. We've told you before, we're not professional cappers. We don't make you pay for our picks.
Free.
They're free. And you can take them if you want, but we're not forcing them down your throat.
Yeah.
I have lost so much money because of Joe Schmo saying, "Oh, there's this analytical thing where every time he throws X amount of pan, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Trust your gut. If you like a line, take it. Don't overthink shit."
My New Year's resolution is stop going so parlay heavy.
Yes.
Stop focusing
I've
on
always said that.
The monster payouts, because here's the deal. If you looked at my DraftKings past wins and losses, most of them are, especially the losses. Let's start with the losses. Are like losing
5, 10.
Losing a third of a parlay, losing a fifth of a parlay, where I hit at least 60%. And we've talked about it. Professional gamblers hit 60% and up. And I think that we're still in that wheelhouse.
We are.
However, when I get looped into seeing, and everybody knows it, you see on Twitter, people post their tickets and they're like, $10, I won $1,100.
That's like, I want some of that.
Yeah, that's not the norm. That happens, every 5 years if you're lucky? So my New Year's resolution for 2023 is to put more money down on individual locks to double my profit. Or if I feel like there's a plus money bet that I like on a money line standpoint, I'm going to do that. But I've gotten too parlay cute this year, and it's burned me because I just feel like at the end of the day, it is so much more gut wrenching watching the early slate of games with this man to my left here, hitting on 4/5 of a profit, right? And then never getting that anytime touchdown, never getting that over to hit. So that to me, I'm staying away from that. I'm going outright, just individual over-unders or money lines or spreads. Single bets are your friend in 2023.
Yeah. Much like regular New Year's resolutions, I'm sure we won't stick to it.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see where it goes.
We have lost a lot of money this year.
If you have a betting New Year's resolution, drop it in the chat right now. We'll go over some of those. But before we get into our picks, remember, guys, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today and use that promo code PHNX, because when you do, they'll double your first, or they'll give you $150 in free bets when you place a $5 money line bet on any NFL team to win their game. If they win that game, you get $150 in free bets this week only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. There's a lot of juicy lines out there. A lot of players not playing. A lot of teams to take advantage of. Desperation is one of my favorite catalysts for a underdog money line. I got a couple of those in there today. And you can do that all on the DraftKings Sportsbook app with the same game parlay feature. On the DraftKings Sportsbook app, they update the line so fast it is now -5 for the Atlanta Falcons. It is already
it now, hurry
up.
Again.
Promo code PHNX, $5 on any NFL team's money line if they win $150 in free bets this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See those show notes for more details. Johnny, what's your favorite game of the weekend?
Goodness. There's a lot of tasty appetizers. Can I get excited for Minnesota Green Bay knowing that Christian Watson's not going to play? I don't know. Can I get excited about Seattle, New York when I know that both those teams, if they make the playoffs, aren't going to do anything? I'm going to tell you right now, the game that has piqued my interest the most from a gambling perspective and from an Arizona Cardinals perspective, Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. The Lions, if they win out, they need a little bit of help, but they're going to make the playoffs. Can the Chicago Bears win another game? When it looks like the Cardinals are maybe purposely tanking these last 2 games, can the Cardinals leapfrog and get a victory in the draft standings by taking 2 consecutive L's? Chicago, it feels like, and our friends at CHGO and All City have talked about this, the Bears play like really competitive 3.5 quarters, and then something happens in the final minutes where they blow games. I don't know. This feels like after what we saw last week, the Lions have been exposed up front. You can run on them. Justin Fields in the Dome at Chicago or at Detroit this weekend. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, much like the Golden State Warriors, maybe live bet the other team in the third quarter.
Oh, yeah. I like it a lot.
They're playing. I'm a big fan of a couple matchups. I think that Teddy Bridgewater has a chance to Nick Foles this bitch. I think he can make a run with this Dolphins team. He's experienced enough. He knows the offense. This team is playing for something, that being Tua.
Are they playing for him, though?
I think they are.
Okay.
I think they love him. And yeah, they're playing the Patriots, division rivals in New England. That game's going to be fun. It's going to be cold. We'll see how that plays out. I'm also a big fan of the Jets and Seahawks game. Geno Smith says it's business as usual. I don't think it is. They wrote him off. He might be starting to right back here soon, though.
He won't. Another game I really like is the fact that the New York Giants, all they have to do is beat Jeff Saturday, and they lock up the postseason berth, which would in turn, I think Brian Daboll gets Coach of the Year if that happens. That's an interesting storyline.
But doesn't it feel like they're going to lose to the Colts because of that?
Oh, yeah, 100%. What we're all rooting for, right? Here's the deal. There's one game that we haven't talked about, and I'm going to bet on it. Big emotional loss last week. Humiliated. You know where I'm going with this. Coach has been fired. Let's see how they rally. Russell Wilson going to Kansas City. That line is so big. My DraftKings pick of the week, I'm going to tell you right now, is all things Denver Broncos.
Well, you did that last time against the Chiefs, and it hit.
It did, and I've got even better odds this week because Kansas City, yes, they need victories to secure the number 1 seed, but they've been playing relatively competitive close games.
They're up 14 with 10 minutes to go. Or no, 5 minutes to go. You think they smash the gas? No. I don't think they do.
No, I think we're going to get whoopsie Russell Wilson spirited performance. And you can throw on Kansas City. Davis Mills threw on Kansas City. So that's my DraftKings pick of the week. Get into my picks now, Jacob.
Let's look at it.
The Denver Broncos plus 12.5. Hammer it. Because I think everybody feels like, oh shit, ownership's watching. They fired the head coach, magnifying glass on this franchise. We better try because they quit on Nickelodeon. I was watching with my son. They had people from SpongeBob making fun of them. They're grown professional men. The defense is going to play well. I also love the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think people are reading too much into the fact that Houston's playing competitive. I think the Jaguars run away with that game. I think Trevor Lawrence has a monster 3 or 4 touchdown performance. And this is my heart. I want the Chicago Bears to win. I want the money line. I'm not going to take the money line, but I will take Bears plus 6. The Bears dominated the Lions at Soldier Field earlier this year to the point where they look like they blew the fourth quarter purposely. They threw pick sixes to Jeff Okudah. I think the Bears keep this one competitive. I am not on Teddy Bridgewater. I am very much on the Patriots. The Patriots are terrible. They have no business going to the playoffs, but I think the Miami Dolphins are on the brink now, having lost how many consecutive games of just completely imploding. And then 49ers, good hell. Jared Stidham.
They've covered 4 games in a row, and it hasn't been close.
Yeah, I think the Niners shut out the Raiders this week. I don't think the Raiders score touchdown.
30-0. That sounds right.
Yep.
I love them. I also like the Niners as we pull up my picks here in a second. There's some sneaky good games, as we said on the slate, that we're not touching. I'm not touching Panthers, Buccaneers, but obviously that game is for the NFC South.
Yeah.
I'm not touching Browns, Commanders, but that has huge implications on the wild card for the Commanders.
Yeah.
But the Browns might put up a fight. Not touching those games, but I'm touching these. Mull over them with my grubby little hands.
Gross.
Give me the Niners and give me those points as well, Mr. Johnny Venerable. Niners -9. I love it. I also like Jags -4. I'm in the same boat as you. Trevor Lawrence playing some of the best football of his life right now. Probably the best.
Feels like we're getting too cute with that line, isn't it?
Yeah. But I think this is the season of don't overthink shit. I mean, just don't overthink this line. Give me the Jags -4. And then I got a bunch of dogs for you. Parlay all these together, make some coin. Give me the Seahawks money line +110. Geno Smith needs this game. The Jets and Mike White, might run all over them with Bam Knight, but I don't see.
I could see
them stopping
Seahawks
this
winning.
offense if Lockett comes back. Also, Dolphins money line. I said it. I think Teddy Bridgewater has what it takes. Teddy two gloves. This offense is still dynamic. Get the ball into the hands of the playmakers. This New England team just isn't going to be able to score enough points to keep up with the Dolphins. So I like their money line at plus 120. And then I know everything's telling me to bet on the Packers, but I'm not going to. I'm betting on the Vikings this week. The Vikings lose. They get blown out sometimes, but in close games, they're going to win. This is going to be a close game, division game at Lambeau. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to have his way throwing the ball, but Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson have something special. The secondary for the Packers should be better than it is, and it still isn't. No Christian Watson. I just don't think they have enough playmakers to get this done. Give me the Vikings money line at plus 155.
I saw something. Matt LaFleur has never lost in the month of December as the Packer head coach. And I'm like, oh, then I'm going to bet on them. But it's January when these games are played. It's January.
Huge.
January 1st.
Huge when you think about it.
Yeah.
Are these games really on New Year's?
They're on New Year's Day. Yeah, Sunday, New Year's Day. Get ready.
Who's playing? Wait.
To be hung over with us on the tailgate show.
The 49ers are playing in Vegas on New Year's Day.
What does that mean?
They're going to be hung over.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Oh, no.
They'll be fine.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Johnny.
No, they'll be fine.
Johnny. They're playing a team that they can beat easily. They don't need this game. They've locked up the NFC West.
They need the game. They're trying to get a top seed in the NFC playoffs because they don't want Brock Purdy to go on the road. They'll be fine.
They're going to get the Vegas bug, Johnny. That scares me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie.
The Raiders are the Cardinal equivalent of the AFC. The Raiders are quit. They're done. They're trying to get to the offseason mercifully. The only difference is the Cardinals can get out of Cliff Kingsbury. The Raiders cannot afford to pay out Josh McDaniels.
Speaking of the Raiders, Ben in the chat saying he misses Derek Carr already. Ben, what's your sports betting New Year's resolution? Let us know. Epic weekend of sports. Yes, this is going to be an epic weekend of sports. We'll have a preview show for the Final Four tomorrow, live right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel at noon. But before then, let's get into our props. Johnny, we'll start with you. What do you like the most?
Favorite prop of the week, and I think it hits. I've hit on a couple of these recently. First touchdown score. I love Deontay Foreman for the Carolina Panthers. We saw how susceptible Todd Bowles' defense was against the run against the Arizona Cardinals with James Conner. We saw the fact, I think the Lions gave up 200 yards rushing to Carolina in the first half. Oh, my God. So, yeah, Foreman has been their bell cow. DJ Moore, you could maybe dabble with Sam Darnold. I think Tampa's run defense without Vita Vea obviously is a hot mess express. The linebackers haven't been filling. The Cardinals dominated that line of scrimmage for 3 quarters. I think Deontay Foreman gets that first anytime touchdown at plus 650. I also love Justin Fields, 71.5 rushing yards. Listen, we've lost on a lot of bets this year. We've lost a lot of money.
I've never lost betting on Justin Fields.
It feels like that is the most assured thing. It's beaten into the ground. You can I almost feel like with betting on the Bears, both the over and Justin Fields rushing props, you can breathe a sigh of relief mid-game. It's one of the only props this year that you've been able to have just a lot of solace before the game's over. You're not sweating this out. And then speaking of big sweaty men, J.J. Watt, over 70.
We weren't speaking of big sweaty men.
7.5 sacks. So he needs 1 sack. He needs 1 sack to get to double digits this year. I think he hits it easily against Desmond Ridder, who is not good at football. My only concern with that, Shano, is do the Falcons even try to throw the football this weekend? But I think Watt gets his to hit 10.5 sacks on this season. Those are some of my favorite props that we've done recently.
Yeah, Justin Fields earlier this month this year against the Lions went crazy on the ground. I remember betting on that. Definitely expect to bet on that again this weekend. It does feel free. So yeah, I really like that pick. Johnny, do you have any other go-to props in the NFL, like a Justin Fields type? Is there any other guy you like to go to?
Jamal Williams early when that was a guarantee. That felt like, he's James Conner of 2022 from last year. It very much felt like he was house money to score anytime, any place, anywhere. As far as other people, I think right now, it's not something I look at consistently, but defensive props for the team that's playing the Indianapolis Colts feels like a smart play. If you can get sack numbers, the fact that their offensive line is terrible, their quarterbacks are immobile, Interceptions feel like are coming fast and furious. Nick Foles looks like he's retired. So did Matt Ryan. Any kind of defensive prop you can get keen in on Indianapolis, I love a lot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I also love this weekend, and I don't think enough people are talking about it. So let me pull up my. I think New Orleans is going to go into Philadelphia and give them a game, and I think we're going to get a big Taysom Hill game. I think we could get a Taysom Hill multi-touchdown performance. If you can get on DraftKings 2+ touchdowns for Taysom Hill this weekend, I would imagine it's over plus 1,000. Philadelphia's defense against tight ends has not been good. They finally seemingly unlocked him last week. Their defense is playing better. New Orleans had a nice win in Cleveland. This is because Kamara right now scrubbed his Instagram. It feels like they're moving off of Kamara. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Taysom Hill rushing. Taysom Hill touchdowns.
I love it. Got a couple of New Year's resolutions in here. Ben says, I want to be more emotional and less stable with my units. That's probably not the best idea.
I love that mindset. That is where the big money is made.
Nick says, my betting New Year's resolution is to get back in the positive by placing larger and longer bets. Guys, this isn't healthy.
I love everything that you guys are saying.
Why the hell does Johnny look like
what? So cute.
Oh, sorry. I trimmed my beard.
Yeah.
I had a nice family day yesterday.
And then Derek asks, who's our MVP right now?
Our betting MVP is Justin Fields.
Well, yeah,
has to be.
Our betting MVP. But for the NFL, who's your MVP?
If Mahomes is going to get it, Allen doesn't deserve it. No, Jalen Hurts is going to miss probably too much time to get it. It pains me to say this. If it's not a quarterback, and it feels like this could be a year where it's not.
Yep. Plus 5,000.
Nick Bosa or Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's plus 5,000.
Those are my top three: Mahomes, Justin Jefferson, Nick Bosa. But it'll be Mahomes.
Yeah, I think it's Mahomes. I personally would vote for Mahomes.
You can't get even money on Mahomes right now, can you?
No, he's minus 500.
Yeah.
I would bet on Mahomes, or I would pick Mahomes. I would put my ballot in for Mahomes. But I think it goes Mahomes, Jefferson 2, and then Burrow 3. I think Burrow's just been unbelievable.
I don't know. I hate the Niners, but Nick Bosa is the runaway defensive player of the year on a defense that's the best defense since the Legion of Boom.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's not a quarterback award, then he has to be in consideration. That's the hardest part for an Arizona Cardinal fan to admit. And we always talked about this back in 2019 when they drafted Kyler Murray. You knew by taking Kyler, you had to make it work because you were gifting the San Francisco 49ers a Hall of Fame level player. And that's what's happened. So you better make it work.
Yeah. If you want some confidence in Johnny's prop with Justin Fields, he ran for 147 last time they played the Lions.
In a game that the Bears deliberately threw.
And this game is in a dome. This game is in Detroit. Detroit's one of the worst rushing defenses. I think they roll. This is one of my favorite picks. It was the defense lock last time they played. It might be that again.
It would not surprise me if Justin Fields had 150 yards rushing in this game. Is he over 1,000 rushing yards this year? He's the only quarterback to do it in NFL history next to Michael Vick. And who is the other one? Did Jalen rush for 1,000 yards? Or Lamar, of course.
Yeah. Nick said he started selling off his sentimental items to place bigger bets.
I'm also into that. Minimalist, right? And then you can make more money on DraftKings and then rebuy them.
Disclaimer, that is a joke. Don't do that. All right, let's look at my props for this weekend.
Okay.
I got some tasties. I told you guys about it. I'm taking an under for the first time. I think this entire year, I hate doing this. It just feels gross. But this line is so high. So high.
That is really high.
Amon-Ra St. Brown under 7.5 receptions at even money. Look, he's awesome. He's really good. Jared Goff has also been awesome. Last time this team played the Bears, he caught 10 passes. That's just too high for me.
He only needs 4 to get to 100 catches, too.
I think this game is going to be gross. I don't see him getting to this. So I'm taking his under on receptions at 7.5. And then Tyler Algier, Mr. Bell Cow. I don't think we're going to see a lot, if any, of Cordero Patterson against the Cardinals because he's old and they want to see what they got from their BYU running back. He's only 22 years old, Tyler Algier. I love him so much in the spot.
His head looks like it weighs. I got a picture of his head right now. It looks like it weighs 45 pounds.
Yeah, it's insane. Give me his over 72.5 rushing yards. I love this so much. And then Aaron Rodgers against the worst defense in the NFL, the Minnesota Vikings. Give me the over on his passing yards at 249.5. I don't care if there's no Christian Watson. He's going to throw the ball 50 times. He's going to get there pretty easily. 300 plus, tease it up in a same game parlay on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Derek says Joe Burrow has a shot up for MVP. Probably won't win it though. Yeah, he definitely has a shot. And look, if they beat the Bills convincingly this week, and they, you never know. You never know that he does have a chance. But
Cardinals have a 2% chance to get the first overall pick. They have to lose out, and everybody above them.
If Mahomes throws 3 picks against the Broncos and they lose, and Burrow throws 4 touchdowns, no interceptions against the Bills, and they roll, do you think Joe Burrow leads the MVP conversation?
Maybe. I also I don't know if Mahomes can win the MVP if they're not the number 1 seed.
Yeah,
that's and if you lose the number 1 seed to Cincinnati and or Buffalo, Josh Allen to me has had too many up and down games to be the MVP. He was my lock before the season. I picked him, so I agree with you. I think Burrow. He is a ruthless killer at the end of the season. He is and his intangibles are so immense that his physical traits are not even close to Allen and Mahomes. And you talk about 100% buy-in from that Cincinnati team. They're a huge favorite to root for at the end of the year. Because you know what? They're playing with house money a little bit too, because everybody, including yourself, wrote them off this year. And I think that we could be looking up and they could be in the AFC Championship game again.
Yeah. I didn't write them off. I just said they're not going to do the Super Bowl yet.
You didn't pick them to win the division, I don't think.
No, I didn't. We'll see.
That division's looking good.
Yeah, the division is looking good. Johnny, anything else before we get out of here?
Yeah, PHNX Cardinals live later today, 4 p.m. Myself, Bo Brock, the great Frank Sanders. Are the Cardinals intentionally tanking? And if they are, God bless you, Michael Bidwell and company. We also have a preview show that's airing tomorrow. College football, the Final Four. Guess who's going to be at TCU, Michigan? Your boy. We're going to talk about it.
Guess who's going to be at the national championship?
Okay. All right.
Your boy.
God, just completely trumped my my game.
Well, actually, I took the Ravens to win the division over the Bengals. If the Ravens win this week, they can win the division on the final week of the season.
Jim Harbaugh's brother, John, is so underrated. Remember everybody who wanted him fired? Their team is not great. They don't have a great team. And he's double digits again.
They're 10-5. It could be 11-5. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Johnny mentioned the picks that he had at the start of the year. We will have a review show on Tuesday going over what we did. I don't even know how I did, so we'll see. So tune in for that. It's going to be a good time. We're here every Monday through Friday at noon on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. As I said, we'll be back tomorrow at noon to preview the Final Four and all that is college football. But until then, you can follow me on Twitter at Shandy. If you can follow Johnny on Twitter at Johnny Venner, we'll follow the show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon. But until then, peace, love, and David Blau?
Blow it, baby.